Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker. What an amazing topic today. Actually, it's not a topic. I'm just like super thrilled for all of your answers, all of the love that you've been sending me, and the incredible response that I get every time I post kind of more delicate topics. Like, for example, either when I'm feeling a little bit depressed, or when I feel like the world isn't really turning in the right direction, or when human beings feel lost a little bit, and then I kind of wish to share those emotions with other fellow human beings. And of course, there's always fear if I'm going to say something like this to you guys. If I'm going to share certain emotions with you guys, of course, I think sometimes, oh my God, are they going to get it the right way? I hope they don't misinterpret it. I hope that they don't think that it's like worse than it really is, because I'm in a mood. So I just wish to share the vibe and the mood I'm in. As these moods and swings kind of change and shift, I share them with you. I mean, I'm a human being, I'm not a robot, so I'm not supposed to just constantly have only one sort of perception or vision of how I tick and function. There are glitches in the system. There are a lot of glitches in the system, let me tell you that's for sure. At least in the bunker there are. So I'm going to read some of these incredible comments that you have left on my video, on the Fashion is Dead video. And fashion is dead is kind of like a notion of me just being really disappointed with the state of affairs within the fashion world at the moment. But in general, fashion is not just fashion. It's the fashion of things. You know what I mean? And the fashion of things can be also behavior of art, of how we perceive stuff in the world. So it's to be not understood literally, but kind of transcend that, and it should be taken on a kind of a higher level. So let's read Goy Boy. How you doing, sweetie? Goy Boy's comment was, "Oh, Dacob, I feel you, and just as our natural need for fashion and love is super duper, our downs and epiphanies are also very super duper. I want you to wait till spring is fully here, and then we'll talk again. It's really similar with me. I get up at 7:15 in the morning from the sun. I do my stuff, have a nice day, and in the evening I feel the urge to do or create something. But I'm blocked and don't know what it is. Considering very unusual things to do to get out of this. I'm half cast and even considered stepping by the tanning studio to feel something warm, because this time just feels cold. Thank God it was closed. I'm going to get my son in the park later, thinking of you." Thank you so much, thinking of you too, sweetie. In fact, I'm reading the comment here, and I have to tell you, and I wrote you in the comment already, but I'm telling all of you guys out there, don't go to the sun studio, because it's really bad for your skin. It can cause huge damages to your skin. First of all, it makes your skin get older sooner, and you could, even worse, if you do it for many, many years, skin never forgets anything. They say that skin has a pattern. It's the biggest organ that we have, and yes, skin is an organ, and it could even lead to, the sun studios could even lead to skin cancers. So just avoid it as the plague. Now, I have very fair skin. What is wrong with my hair? This is so freaking annoying me right now, this little thing. Okay, let's just do that. I have very fair skin, so for me, even to go into the sun is a problem, because it just burns me to a crisp, literally. So I avoid it like the plague. It's protection, sunscreen protection, 100, 150, what have you. It still doesn't really completely cover me up. And as far as spring is concerned, yes, I do believe that as kind of warmer days come, I will kind of snap out of it more. However, spring brings with it kind of this thought process and thoughtfulness. Also, like Easter, whether or not you're religious or not doesn't matter, but it's kind of this like whole concept of rebirth, of re-arrival, of reinvention, and letting go of something that was in the past that's kind of dying away. And that's always a very nostalgic process. It's a very thought-provoking process, and it makes me very... depressed isn't even the right word. Nostalgic and kind of, thoughtful. It just makes me think more and retract more inside myself. And it makes me kind of, wish to, I don't know, just meditate a bit more, just like stillness. just to hear silence. Sometimes I can't stand silence. I can't listen to silence. But sometimes it's very, very positive to really learn to enjoy that silence and to learn from silence. Yes. I know you're like, how can you learn from something that's not talking to you? Well, silence, it does talk to you because it literally triggers things inside of your own conscious or subconscious that kind of, you start processing things when you're in silence. And processing those things does entail also, going through some shit. And also through some positive things, but you got to go through both, and that's part of being in silence. That's why a lot of people can't handle silence. But yes, so Victoria Melbourne, how you doing, Victoria Melbourne, sweetie? You should watch old movies that are fashion films, like The Women, Funny Face, Sabrina, and French ones like Belle du Jour. I find them inspiring. Maybe. You've seen them all. I haven't seen them all, but I've seen them all. You know what I mean? And I love them. And sometimes I just play them in loop in the background as I'm working and doing stuff. However, it's kind of difficult as well because they're so magically styled and designed and so beautifully filmed and shot, whether they be in black and white or in Technicolor. They literally just captivate me. So it's very hard for me to play an old movie, an oldie but goodie movie, and just like let it play in the background. I always kind of fade into it and I dive into it like the Stendhal syndrome. So I kind of like, it becomes me and I become it. You know what I mean? So I tend to just like drop everything I'm doing, whatever I'm doing, and just kind of focus on complete and utter movie. And that's what always happens to me when I'm playing the old movies. When I'm playing the newer stuff, I could space out. I don't need to really look at it that much. But if it's the old movies, oh God, I can't let go. And it literally transports me into another state. It makes me feel like I'm in a parallel universe almost, as if another me is doing something somewhere else, and I kind of get glimpses of it, like within a glitch system, like just like like an electric shock, a wave of a visual of something that I'm doing, but but I'm not. But that's what I get with these movies a lot, and it's amazing. So, D, how you doing, D, sweetie? D writes, yes, fashion can be boring. There is too much repetition, and the arrogance and assumption that are often a part of that world don't serve me very well usually. Although I love fabric and texture and color, and lack of color, etc., I feel that creative people need to switch around their focus from time to time. I think we have discussed before how intertwined all the different media are. How much you move into an introspective mode or go into extrospective mode to seek out other people and ideas and stimulation is up to you. Sometimes one is healthier than the other. Knowing the difference is everything. Plus, if you are sensitive, the blasé nature of contemporary life can get to you. People obsessed with the superficial, caught up in mindless stress, afraid to communicate with meaning, and isolated people who become angry and bitter, etc. First world problems indeed. But still, it has an impact. I have to be careful of my own stubborn nature and break my own comfortable patterns of behavior and thought sometimes. Hard to do. It's wonderful to see so many people reaching out to you, Super D. You deserve it. You will find your way. Maybe this is an important crossroads for you. XO. Thank you so much, D. This is such a wonderful comment, and especially the heart of your comment. Right in the middle of the comment, you say, when you talk about how much you move into an introspective mode or go into extrospective mode to seek out other people and ideas and stimulation is up to you. Sometimes one is healthier than the other. So sometimes being extroverted or introverted is healthier, either or. Knowing the difference is everything. Now and I say, what I think you meant here is knowing the difference between which one of the two is healthier at the moment that you need them is key. But also what is important to know, the difference between extrovert and introvert. I mean, it sounds, and actually you didn't use introvert, you used extrospective and introspective. And there's a subtle, and of course, you know, when you type it down, it's going to give you error in spelling because the word doesn't really exist, but it exists as a notion and a concept. So introspective and extrospective, you know, extrospective, I don't know if you meant, you know, extrovert by that, but to be extra, you can't really be extrospective in my concept of things because you're still looking inside while you're outside. So that would be a very particular concept, and understanding the difference between that and actually being introspective is huge. When we see the world around us and we express kind of the need to communicate with it, why do we express that need to communicate with it? I mean, either we, you know, need some stimulation to further ourselves, or we are extremely altruistic and ever giving, and we're just there for the sake of others, which is super rare, almost never happens, because everybody has an ego, everybody's kind of in their own rhythms and patterns. So I'm not so sure how much you could really, you know, claim to, I don't know how much you could really claim it to be really existing altruism, you know, without any personal gain, just selflessly being there for somebody else. Doable. Mothers do a great job at it because they have complete and utter selfless love at times. Some mothers do, at least. But, you know, in friendships and relationships and partnerships, I mean, it's rare. It can happen. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm not the bitter Betty of the situation here, but it's rare. And to know the difference between extrospective and introspective in this case is key, is totally key. And it's also, you know, interesting and fascinating to me to see the difference between reality and fiction. Because what is reality really? It's what we make of it for ourselves. And fiction is the same. You can actively decide to ignore the presence of something and fade it out. And when you fade it out, it's gone. And sometimes some things that are maybe perhaps important to you, whether or not you want to accept it or not, sooner or later, they find a way to battle their way up through the psyche and just kind of like box their way out into the open towards you. So that introspective becomes extrospective, as in term of what you have inside of you that needs to come out. And when that change and shift happens, a very important aspect of growth and evolution occurs. Sweetie Me, or Me. How are you doing, Sweetie Me? M-E-E, so I don't know if you want to say me or Sweetie May. Hi, Dacob. I understand how you feel. I think sometimes we need to step back and find inspiration with the face in the mirror. You are an inspiration to a lot of people. Within you, there's light. Oh, thank you so much. Kindness, understand, and passion for everyone that comes across you. Thank you so much. This makes me blush, but anyway. This is embarrassing. Thank you. Really, thank you so much, but you're giving me too many positive connotations. I really try my best, but nobody's perfect. I would like to share that when I was going through a deep depression, your videos were always uplifting and thought-provoking. I'm a medical professional, and I also feel uninspired by people in general. Haha. They ask me the same medical questions, and I gladly answer them, but I always wonder how our species survived for so long. Thank you for another wonderful video. Peace and blessings. Wow, thank you so much, sweetie. First of all, I have to say I've noticed lately through the comments, through your guys' comments, that I have a lot of medical professionals, I mean, like doctors or people who are studying to become doctors or dentists or, a lot of you are watching. I don't know what that means really, but I'm extremely happy and honored, especially because, let me share this thing with you guys. I have a couple doctors in the family. And for a certain time in my life, I wished to also study medicine. When I was a kid, I opted out of that because I thought I couldn't deal with the aspect of dead bodies and having to handle them and manage them. And you have to go through that process when you're learning medicine. So now I'm a little bit disappointed that I, didn't go that route, because I guess I'm still not really into dead bodies. I would have a lot of difficulties. And you know me, I love fragrances and perfumes. My nose is super delicate. Usually they say people can't smell out more than 7 perfumes, then their nose just all smells the same after that, like maximum is 7, and they need to take a break, or they give you the coffee beans to smell to free yourself, like you would eat a ginger between 2 sushis, so that the ginger actually is there to clean the palate of the taste of the fish, so you could kind of enjoy the taste of the next sushi again after. But anyway, so why am I saying this? Because bad smells are also so first of all, I don't have a limit. After 7 fragrances, I keep on going. I still sense the difference of all of them. Hundreds of them. There's no stopping me. I will not get a headache. I will not be tired of it. I will keep on identifying different ingredients and differences between them. So, imagine how enhanced my olfactory senses are. Now imagine how I perceive bad odors and bad smells. Now imagine how it is to smell a dead body, to dissect a dead body and all the guts and everything that's inside. I couldn't handle that. Not that I can't handle bad smell, but it's just so enhanced to me. In fact, many a time I would overdo perfume that I love, of course, when I go out, when I would go on public transportation or whatever, because I don't want to smell other people. And other people smell very intensely to me. Now, either the hormonal balance of 2 people meets and we're a match, and then you just don't smell them at all because they smell good to you. So your body doesn't perceive them as potential hazard and danger. So that's fine. But of course you can't fit and you can't be a match with everybody. And I'm not saying that people are stinky because they don't shower. There are people that don't shower. There are a lot of people that don't shower. There are a lot of people that really oh my God, why? Doesn't anybody tell you that you're stinky? You should clean yourself. You don't need to spend a lot of money for a deodorant and a shampoo. We're not talking homeless people. We're talking people that are dressed up and smell, So that's another instance. But then there's also people that are totally clean. I just can't smell them. It has nothing to do with personal hygiene. I just can't smell certain people. And they don't smell good to me. They smell clean, but I smell that hormonal stuff there as well, the pheromones or whatever you want to call them. And I know when it's not a match. And when it's not a match, so I got to go away. Now, this is the fascinating part. I use a lot of fragrance on me because not just as a protection shield, no, actually as a protection shield when I go outside. When I'm at home, it's a totally different story. I enjoy them in a different way. I dose them differently when I'm at home. I use them nevertheless the entire day. I go through this process of these movies running through my head as I smell these fragrances the entire day. I keep doing it the whole day. But when I go out, I have to bathe in them because it literally creates a barrier of protection so that I can smell less other people surrounding me. Yeah, it's a difficult one, but it's fine. I mean, I've learned to deal with it, and I'm never it's not an obsession. It's just a part of my daily routine, and it's fine, and I can totally handle it, but it's a tricky one. It's a tricky call to make when you're kind of, because that a lot of people don't like perfumes. So when you're outside, a lot of people are going to, and I'm fine with that, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm fine with people going away from me because I have too much perfume on. Just create a void around me. I'm happy. I like to have my space, I like that. I'm not the type of person who's just going to be all touchy with everybody, I'm not a germaphobe. Well, maybe a little bit, but I'm not that sort of a germaphobe, to be like, oh my God, don't touch me. I'm not like that. But if my fragrance does the work for me and creates a void in front of me, a space surrounding me, I'm very, very grateful for that. That was already worth the investment of purchasing the perfume in the first place. You know what I mean? Of course, on top of the fact that you love the fragrance. So yes, so guys, I'm gonna stop it here because like the camera's gonna cut me off. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm definitely going to read more of these comments in an upcoming video because they are freaking amazing. Thank you guys so much for all the love, for the time, for the dedication, for the devotion, you know, for the support, for the energy, for the strength, for the electricity, you know? Thank you. It literally gives me life. So, if you haven't already, but wish to, please do subscribe to my channel here on YouTube. I am also on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. No matter how deep the precipices that we ourselves dig for ourselves seem to be, we will not fall into them as long as you never give up on love. Love you guys. See you soon. Take care. Bye.